Reseller's Life. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. Behind me is my beautiful mint mojito green Prius, and I found out that you can actually fit 39 boxes on it. And I made the trip all the way back to my car. This is 3 pallets worth of goods, so I'm gonna unbox them and do a time lapse right now and see how it goes. But I just had the pallet company take the pallets with them. I think they can recycle them and make a couple of bucks, but for me, since I'm running my business out of a storage unit, I don't have that much extra space, so I just had them unload the boxes, and then here we go. All right, guys, let's go over what was in the boxes. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so the majority of these styles are from Merrell. I love Merrell. It's a really easy brand for me to sell. These sandals will probably take a while to sell because it's winter, obviously, but it is summer somewhere, so I expect these to sell just a little slower right now. If you guys are looking for any of my inventory, my store is called Daily Refinement on eBay, and also, my username is Daily Refinement, and my Posh Closet is Daily Refinement as well, and I'm Mercari, and you can just email me, chris@dailyrefinement.com. If you want a 10% discount, I'll just invoice you. This is the style I'm most excited about. Pretty easy to sell. I got a great price on them. There's just a classic waterproof boot by Merrell. It's a great colorway, easy to match. It's also winter right now, so these should be pretty easy to sell. Again, if you're looking for a couple of sizes, the bigger ones are going to be a little bit more than size 5 just because it's a better size. Hush puppies, I don't know a lot about, so if you guys know more about them, let me know in the comment section below what you think of hush puppies. This is a good brand to sell. I got 7 cases of hush puppies of different styles. So I'll have to take a look at them. The majority of them, again, are the good sizes, 7, 8, and 9. So it is, you know, some people say you can only get crappy sizes when you buy store closeouts. I haven't really had that experience. I've gotten, you know, sometimes it's poor sizes, but most of the time you can get them to give you a few good sizes. This is a pretty good looking Chaco if you're a desert dweller. I don't know about anybody wearing these in the Bay Area except for like Berkeley. And Merrell makes a lot of shoes with perforation, so make sure when you're describing items, let people know these are highly breathable. And also, I like to let my customers know that a lot of these are store returns, and so the condition is not going to be like the store. It's going to be sometimes tried on, sometimes not. Sometimes the boxes are heavily damaged like this. Chacos, again, these are the more classic ones that I see. Like if I was really brave, I'd probably wear these with some white socks and mow the lawn. That would be perfect. But anyway, that's actually a women's shoe, so yeah. Inside here we have the Azure wrap. This is another Merrell style, also very cool. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What is that? 15 boxes of Merrell on this side and a few more on the other side. Most of these are multiples, meaning there's more than one, which should make listing really easy. I purchased 256 boxes from this guy, so it's gonna take a while for those shipments to come in. It's great though, because he can send them little by little, and it gives me time to list all of them. It's actually working out really well. I am gonna show you guys where I came from. I drove all the way down from the end here with these 39 boxes. The post office, which is the post office will not do a pickup down here. I have to take my packages to the front for them to pick it up, which is not too bad, but again, it can be a little bit of a hassle not having them come directly to my unit. But again, maybe I'm just being greedy because they're still coming here to pick up, which is nice. So if it is a pallet delivery, and I keep the pallets, they'll actually drop them off here. But if I don't take the pallets and I want them to keep it, they basically just dump it off at the front. And so I'm working it out, still trying to figure out how to run this out of a storage unit. It's just so much cheaper to run it out of a storage unit than it is a commercial space, a month to month. It's not that expensive compared to commercial space. and I just like the built-in security. There's a lady who drives down here in a golf cart all day. She lives on premises, which just gives me a little layer of security. For all of you that want to join me on this challenge, remember that I list at least 4 times a week, and I recommend that habit. And that's pretty straightforward. Just don't miss more than one day. Start with stuff around the house, then graduate to thrifting or garage sailing. Once you get a little more capital, then you can experiment with buying some bulk online. Just be careful though, because sometimes you can get stuck with inventory that may take a little bit longer to sell, or that's off season, like the sandals, but that's okay because that's just part of this business. I recommend trying to have a year-long worth of supply if you can afford it, just because, you know, for seasonality. It depends on the category that you're selling. If you're selling electronics or cell phones, then expect those items to sell really quickly. In fact, those items depreciate, so you want to get those out as soon as possible. But with clothing or things that you wear, oftentimes they don't depreciate very much beyond a certain threshold. And also with certain items, they're going to actually go up in value if they're a popular style that is sold out. So again, make sure you make educated decisions. Don't spend a lot of money when you're just getting started. What's up, guys? We are in the shop. I am going to give you a couple more thoughts before we take off for the day. And this is just a reminder of what happens when you don't check your inventory. This is 2 left feet. Obviously, this is very difficult to sell. I could do a amputee listing and just sell just the left foot, but again, I actually just keep these here as a reminder to make sure to go through all the inventory when you buy a lot, especially brand new stuff. A pair of goods, you might spend $30, $40 to sell for $70 if you're running on really slim margins. It just depends on what you're looking for. Of course, you'd like to buy stuff for 10 and sell for 100, but that's not always the case. When you're selling brand new stuff, your margins can shrink and it gets a little bit scary. That's why it's important to check all your inventory. A lot of these liquidated goods have tons of defects. So what happens is you buy a big lot, it comes in, you list all of it, you get a big boost in sales, and you are really happy. But here's the thing. There are certain items that you list that will never sell, or will take a long time to sell, or they're going to get returned. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. You have to make sure to sell all the way through before you celebrate. In my opinion, reselling is sort of never ending. You just keep going, you keep grinding, you keep adding new inventory in. You can keep reinvesting in the new inventory. One thing that I like to do is, if I have more than one style, I'll just leave it out here and then I'll mark it in the boxes so that I don't have to have a ton of inventory out here. This stuff, as it sells through, I'll replenish it with items that I have duplicates of. That just keeps it easier for me. I now, if you guys have visited me before in Northern California, I'm in Oakland. I am hoping to do about 10,000 items in about 900 square feet. So for me, since space is expensive, I'm going all the way to the ceiling. Depending on where you are, you're probably going to have a pretty big advantage over me just because space is at a premium here. So I'm not going to expand beyond that. I would consider that still a very small business, especially since a lot of my goods are pre-owned. My preference is pre-owned shoes because pre-owned shoes have a better margin and they have a lower price point. So just more people have access to those shoes. I'd much rather be in that category than be a brand new retailer. Also, you know, my storage unit lady actually had to cut off one of my locks because it was jammed, and she was saying, man, I would be so disappointed if I was a thief and broke into your unit, because it is such a pain to sell these items over again, because the majority of my inventory does not have the original box, right? This is stuff that you have to take the time to list, and if you don't know what you're doing, again, you're going to run into that similar problem I was talking about earlier, where you might list 20 items but only 8 sell. So now you have 12 items listed that are not selling, taking up space. If you're on eBay, they're charging you those insertion fees over and over and over again. There's no more 30-day listings, so it's good till canceled. So now it's just sort of like every single item you have listed on eBay is a recurring revenue stream for them. So make sure to get that inventory sold. Check your inventory constantly because you don't want to get stuck with a bunch of stuff that doesn't sell. So appreciate your guys' time. This episode is sponsored by the Reseller Field Guide, which is my guide on how to do a full-time living selling on eBay. It's $35 with code YouTube. It goes over the basics, photography, describing items, listing items, just the basics. It's all my best videos all in one course. It's $35 with code YouTube. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time.